Today, I have for you a brand new casserole, and y'all, this is gonna be so much fun. This casserole is gonna be great for fall. I think you can probably use it any time of the year, but especially for fall. Here are all the ingredients that we're gonna use today, and we have a lot of them, and I will also put this all in the description below the video. First of all, what I'm gonna do is I need to get my onion chopped up, and y'all, I just love this little gadget. And let me know if you have one. And I may just be late to the party, but I had never seen one of these, and I grabbed one, a few months back, just off Amazon, because I saw it on someone's video. And y'all, this little gadget is amazing. Let me pull my cord around here. And you just plop your onion in there, because normally what I'll do is I'll just chop it, all up myself. Or I have got a food processor, but that thing is big, and I don't like to always get it out and have to clean it. So this little guy, you just put your onion in there, stick this on there. Before you squeeze it, let me turn my cord around here so you can see the front of it. And here you go. It's not the sides, it's the top. Here we go. Look at that. That's it. You just tap it. I love it. To get started, I am going to go ahead and I'm putting about 2 tablespoons of oil here in the bottom of this cast iron skillet. Okay? And let me go ahead and turn this on. Keep that oil handy because you are going to need to use that again in just a little bit when you're working with your cornbread. All right, so now what I'm going to do is take my ground beef. Here we go. We've got our ground beef. You need about 1 pound of ground beef. And you can use any kind of ground beef that you want. Let me get a little bit more of this out. Hang on. You can use any kind of ground beef that you want. I'm using some ground beef from one of Jay's hunts. So we're just gonna go ahead and start getting our ground beef all browned. And I kind of have this, it's just a little higher than low actually. And then we're gonna take our onions. Let's go ahead and put all these onions in. So we're gonna get these onions all softened and while we're getting the ground beef all fixed up. And go ahead and put in our salt and pepper. And so, like I said, I'm using this Himalayan salt. I just love this. I love the flavor of this. And I'm just gonna put this all across the top. I will give you some measurements if you want to go by in the description section. But I like to just put it all across the top. I just like the flavor of it. It tastes just a little bit different. And then for the coarse ground black pepper, I'm just gonna put this all across the top also. Kind of looks like a lot, but it's really not once you get it all mixed together. And we like our stuff pretty seasoned. Okay, I'm gonna turn this up just a little bit more. And when you're doing this for the recipe, it looks like there's a lot of ingredients to put in this cast iron skillet. Because once we get all done, we're gonna be putting this in the oven for probably about 25 minutes. And so go ahead and get your oven preheated to 450. And we are almost there. We've been doing this for probably about 3 minutes. And we're almost there. And those onions are getting nice and soft and translucent. And our beef is almost brown. I'm just gonna continue to chop this up just a little. And then we're gonna put in our next group of seasonings. Okay, we're looking pretty good. So I think now I'm gonna go ahead and put in our next items. So for the tomato paste, we need about 3 tablespoons of the tomato paste. So I'm gonna sit over here and get these out. And this, y'all, I have to tell you something. This cast iron skillet that I'm using today, this large one, this skillet is pretty old. And Jay had it in a storage bin, and he found it when he went and cleaned out the storage bin that he had had for a long time. And I think, I want to say that this thing has been in there, I have to go back and look, 15 years maybe? But I did a video on how to restore a cast iron skillet. So check that one out if you've got some skillets that need some help, because this skillet looked terrible and it had rust on it and everything. And I worked on it and it really wasn't that difficult to do. And I was really shocked. That video turned out really well because this thing went from looking pretty bad to just absolutely being a gorgeous skillet. And I got several cloves of garlic. I'm using fresh garlic. You don't have to. But if I have it, I like to do it because I think it makes a difference. It just takes a little more time. So here's our last one. I'm going to squeeze it. There we go. Let me scrape it off. Okay. All right, the last one, so let's stir that up, and then we'll add in a few more seasonings. Y'all, this is starting to smell wonderful. Oh my gosh, I wish you were here. I wish you could smell it. So now we're gonna take a little bit of chili powder. We'll put a little bit of chili powder over the top, and then a little bit of cumin over the top also. And then this right here, this is my wow sauce, and it is some dehydrated jalapenos mixed with some garlic powder and some onion powder and a little bit of salt. And y'all, it is, I just love it. Jay likes to put it on just about everything. Wonderful. I'll be right back. We're ready now to put in our chicken broth. I'm going to put about that much in and stir. And actually what we have to do after I put these next few ingredients in, we have to bring this on up to a boil. Next, we're going to go ahead and put in our beans, our can of beans. And now we're also going to put in our can of diced tomatoes. Now don't drain, you're not supposed to drain these, but you do want to drain, be sure and drain your beans. And once we get it boiling really good, then we're going to turn it down to low, and we'll add in the corn. And I'm going to let this boil for just a few minutes to kind of thicken up. And I had a little bit of this broth left, you can see, and I did not add it. I'm going to sit it over here. We'll find out later if that was a good choice or not. It just seemed like I had a lot of liquid, and the skillet was getting really full, and I still have to have room to put our topper on. Okay, now we're going to turn it down. We're not turning it down yet. I checked my recipe. We're supposed to let it boil for actually 5 minutes. Okay, so we've been boiling for about 5 minutes, and so now I'm going to take the corn, and we're going to put the corn in, and then we're going to remove it from the heat. So we're going to stir this in while it's boiling. Isn't that pretty? I just love stuff to be pretty when you're cooking it. And this is so pretty. I think it is going to be a great fall casserole. It's so colorful, and it's got all those fall colors in it. And I'm going to remove it from the heat, and now we're going to go work on the topping. So now what we're going to do, while our skillet is back here with our chili, we're going to get our cornbread topping ready. So first thing we're going to do is you're going to take your 2 cups of your cornmeal and get that in. And now let's check out our recipe here. The next thing we're going to do is to take our milk. So for our milk, let's get it together. We're going to do, what did I say? We need 1 1/3 cups of milk. So let me shake my milk. And we're going to put in here 1 1/3 cups milk. Okay. So there's 1 cup. You go ahead and stir it, and then we'll get the other in. Y'all, this is just going to taste so wonderful. It's exciting. I like trying new ones. Okay, now let's get the 3rd cup. There we go. We got a 3rd cup. Let's get that 3rd cup in here. And then we just got our cornbread, and then all I think we have to do is, it said milk and then the egg. Okay, we'll put our egg in here, and then the remaining 1/4 cup of the oil. Got our egg, and then we're going to do 1/4 cup of oil. So now I will reach in here and grab, let's see, this is 1/4 cup. So let's get 1/4 cup of this. All right, there we go. Then we're going to mix all this together. Makes me think about this recipe I've got, y'all. I'll link it in the description, but I've got a couple of recipes on cornbread. Oh my gosh, and they're just to die for. I've got one that is, if you like things that are hot and spicy, I've got a jalapeno one that Jay loves that one. I think that's his favorite one. So it looks like we're mixed up really well. So now we're going to head back to our skillet. Next, we're going to take our pepper jack cheese, and we are going to put this all over the top before we put on our topping. And I was reading on this recipe, it's like, well, I was wondering, why can't you just mix this all in? And it was saying on this recipe, and again, I got this one from Southern Living, it said that by putting this pepper jack cheese on here, it just helps really keep the cornbread from sinking into the chili as much. And it keeps it like a more defined layer. So I thought, oh, that's kind of cool to know. Okay, it looks like we've got our cheese all over, and now I'm trying to think the best way to do this. So I think I'm going to grab me one of these other spoons I've got over here. So just a second, because I don't want to dump it all in the middle. So let me scoot this over here. So I think I'm going to get one of these spoons, because then I will spread it. But I think if I put some little blobs across the top, then, and I just won't have to spread as far. So we'll see if this works out the way I'm thinking. So if I put these blobs in here, kind of put them where they almost start growing together, so then I think that's going to be a good idea. So then we're not having to track it all the way across and mess up that layer. I just didn't want to mess up that layer of cheese. We're almost done putting it on, and then we'll spread it out. And is this not the coolest thing ever? I just love finding new stuff, and I had never, ever thought about doing this. If you've ever done something similar to this, let me know. To just spread across the top. So by doing that, I think that helps to keep that cheese layer intact. So it's going to be so cool to see what this looks like, because I found this recipe, like I told y'all, but I haven't actually seen a picture of it. Okay, so now I'm going to take this little guy, and I'm going to go get it over to the oven, and so I'll meet you over there. Okay, here we are now, getting ready to go into the oven, and y'all, this is heavy. This skillet is very, very heavy. I almost went out and got Jay, but I thought, no, we can do it. So there we go. We're going to slide it in, and we're going to put it, I have it here on 450. We're going to do that for about 20 minutes, and then we're going to check it. So we are out of the oven, y'all, and look at this. Oh my gosh. It went for only about 20 minutes, and I checked it, and I cannot wait to taste this. It is a little bit browner than I thought, but when I've tasted just a little bit over here, oh my gosh, y'all, this cornbread, it tasted fantastic. So I'm gonna let this cool, and then we're gonna come in and give it a taste. Looky here, y'all, I cut into this, and oh my gosh, look, it just looks beautiful. All those different layers and everything. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna taste it. So before we taste, the kids wanna say hi. So here's Ace and Heidi. Y'all can leave. Come on, Mama's got a taste. Okay, so I have cut a piece, and we are gonna now try this. So let me get a good sized bite, and we're gonna taste it. Oh, I'm gonna turn my mic off so you don't have to hear me chew. Okay, y'all, this is good. I was hoping it would be good, but I'm gonna go on a limb, and I'm gonna say, y'all, this is great. This, I think, is one of the best things that I have made in a long time. I love cornbread, and I really like chili, but the taste of this, the flavors are fantastic, and I always try to think, like, what could I do different next time? I really don't think there's anything I'd do different. There's only, maybe I might just cook it a couple of minutes less, just so the top maybe is a little more yellow, golden, maybe not quite as much brown, but y'all, the texture of the cornbread is perfect. The cornbread is moist. It's not dry or anything like that. It's nice, and it's moist and fluffy. And then the top of it is crispy. And then you have that cheese in there, and that next layer of that pepper jack cheese, and then that chili. This is a fantastic recipe. Please, please try it. Leave me your comments and let me know what you think. And be sure and check out that next video that's popping up, and I'm gonna see you over there in a few minutes. Bye-bye.